Yep.
Okay, greetings everyone. I am Warbandit 111. If you are watching this on YouTube, I am a officer of Crack Miata. This is going to be a quick training session for max units. Guys, try to stay by the max units. Sorry, not by the max units, by the Sunder until I tell you to step up. Now, what this training session is going to go over is what weapons to use for what roles for your max unit. It's going to go over what abilities you should have for your max units, and it is going to go over what implants you should have for your max units. Throughout the video, we will be showing you guys exactly how to use these things. We will be showing you the amount of damage it does to the vehicles around here, as well as to the infantry. Keep in mind, the vehicles and infantry around here basically have stock everything. Nothing is deployed around here aside from my Sunder, and thus, if none of this stuff works in the actual game, it is because the person you are attacking has better armor.
Blunts is watching.
Now, to show you all this, the default weapon for the NC max units is the scattergun. It is a close-range shotgun. The right-hand weapon is the NS M2 Falcon. It is a rocket launcher. This is what it looks like to fire the left hand. This is the right hand. This is the stock for all NC maxes. It's not going to get any much different than this. So, oh, for Pete's sakes. Anyways, this is just how it is. You are going to want to put some certs into your max units. Max units have a lot of different roles that you guys can use. They are very useful.
Somebody needs to kill him.
And yeah. Now, for those of you in the VR training room, you can go ahead and go on and access one of the terminals here to take a look at what you got here. Now, for abilities, we're going to start off with the charge ability. Basically what it does is let you run fast. That's it. Doesn't increase your armor or anything. It just lets you move from one point to another, close the distances nice and quick. For weapons, the left hand is going to stay as a scattergun. The right hand, however, is going to be changed to a grinder. You can go dual scattergun sometime later on your own, but for now we're going to focus on the grinder because it only costs 250 certs. It's going to be nice and easy to buy. Now, this is your primary anti-infantry max. It has sprint so that it can close the distances on enemies nice and easy, and it has the dual scatterguns so that you can take them out nice and fast. It does a lot of damage, and the NC maxes are pretty much the only ones that are useful with the sprint. All the other maxes, their only uses for sprint is basically getting out of combat situations. For the NC, sprint can be used to get into combat situations. Allow me to demonstrate with this VS infiltrator here. It took 2 shots to take down that VS infiltrator running up to them. You can interrupt your sprint simply by shooting, and it'll stop you right in your tracks. However, this can also be bad if you run into an area surrounded by enemies. You want to move to a more favorable position. You don't want 20 enemies behind you and 1 enemy in front of you. And one other thing about this setup is It's mainly good for things like biolab fights, indoor fights. If you're outdoors and you're using this setup, you're gonna be pretty easy to pick off, especially because enemies are going to be able to get at you from a long range. This is very problematic. You don't want to be in any open areas with this setup. It is very easy for you to die like this. Now, accessing the armor. Here's what you
Why
want to
am I
have
not
for your
hearing anybody?
armor.
We doing anything or what?
You guys want to have kinetic armor. This is going to save you from pistols, rifles, etc. If you're pushing right into the enemy's face, they're not going to be risking killing themselves and allies with rocket
Requesting
launchers.
1 platoon support
So you
to
want to
Galaxy
focus
Solar
more
Planet
on the
Indara,
kinetic
please, for
armor
right
than
push
the
to get
other
TR out of here.
armors. Flak armor can be good as well if you're going into a room full of heavies or something, but for the most part, flak armor isn't something we're going to focus on for this setup. So keep it to kinetic armor. Once again, keep your ability as sprint so that you can get in fast, get close, take out your enemies almost immediately. For implants, what you want is A, the enhanced targeting. What it does is it shows the life bars of enemies, it'll let you know how much damage you're doing to their enemies. This is good if you're not certain of your setup. It'll tell you if you're doing good or if you need to change something. B, the marker. This is probably the one you really want with this setup. It's a tier 2 implant, harder to get than others, but it's very useful. It spots enemies you damage. So if you go into a room, you fire a bunch of shots, you spot a bunch of enemies, even if you die, those enemies will still be spotted for your allies. So they'll be spotted, the allies know they're there, they can be taken out. In addition, if those enemies get taken out quickly, you get spot bonus for it. Another thing you can use is the EOD HUD. All this does is show like C4s or any motion detecting explosives around. It'll let you know if you can dodge those. However, if you're going to be charging into the enemy's faces anyways, this isn't really something that's very mandatory. It's not going to help you all that much.
Alright, did everybody stop talking or am I broke?
Everyone stop talking.
Alright, just want to make sure. I'm not hearing you in the training session. No, well, yeah, I'm in the squad, but I'm not hearing you. But
PS are down one side.
Now, Milk00 is using the Aegis shield right now. Face me, Milk. To your right. Now, the Aegis shield is the Empire-specific ability for the NC. What it does is bring up an overpowered shield. In most cases, you could take a tank shot directly to it, even a phalanx turret directly to it, and you'll still live. This basically means you can be mobile cover for your allies, get to a place so that a medic can revive allies, or you can even do mobile shielding so that you can get your allies through enemy defenses and get to a point. Now you can have this ability with the dual scatter or scatter grinder combo. It does help. It really does, especially because it's very strong at level 1. It doesn't dissipate as it's being used, it dissipates as it takes damage. As it takes damage, it'll drop. When the little gauge at the bottom right corner goes empty, you will drop your shield automatically. It refills pretty fast, it takes a lot of damage, and by default you should have it at level 1 when you start the game. If not, it costs like 50 to 100 certs. Now then, we're going to be moving on to another weapon. We are going to be moving on to the bursters.
That's
The
probably why I couldn't hear
NS-10
you. I
bursters.
just got kicked from planet side. Hang on a sec. Alright.
Now, what these guns are, they're not really good for anti-personnel unless you're really up close to their face, and even then they can dodge, they can maneuver around you, and basically it's suicide to use this as your primary weapon against infantry. As well, it does pretty much no damage against things like Sunderers, and it does no damage against tanks. It does, however, do damage against things like harassers, ESFs, a lot of damage to ESFs, and flashes. But for the most part, it's an anti-air weapon. As you can see, some of us have been shooting at that site there, and it makes large explosions. The thing is, it does a lot of damage, this gun. It's completely anti-air though. Like I said, it's only going to do a very, very little bit of damage to basically everything else. This does include infantry. For the most part, if an enemy has a large machine gun on them, then you are going to die. Now let me switch over to show the EOD HUD. Sorry, not the EOD HUD. The enhanced targeting implant. Now watch the life go down on this site. This is the max you want when going up against aircrafts, be it an ESF, Empire Specific Fighter, be it a Liberator, or be it a Galaxy. If you can get a whole bunch of people to work together to take down something, you can take down even Galaxies almost immediately.
Command, copy.
Copy, what you need.
A little bit more support over at Galaxy Solar Plant. We're close, but we can still use another squad or two.
Already here. Trying to get your help.
Now,
Appreciate it.
that's good and all,
Anybody else that
but
can hear
once
this and
again,
can bring
you
help,
need the
please do.
shield. If you don't have the shield, then the moment an enemy sees you, basically anything can take you out almost immediately.
Okay.
Max right here, Max 2
I can hear
XDX,
you.
he is flying the Galaxy. While being in the VR training room, we can't do any damage to him. This is the one vehicle, the one aircraft in the game that has a lot of health. If you're going one dual burster max against this thing, you're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage to it. If you can get like 3 other people with dual burster guns, you can take it out pretty fast. But for the most part, it's going to take some time, especially if it's a battle Galaxy. Alright, moving on. We are going to be going dual Falcon.
Reloading.
Guys, right now is about the time you want to switch to your dual Falcons, if you have not already. Now, on one hand, you'll have the Falcon already. It's a default weapon. On the other hand, you'll need to spend like 250, maybe 1,000 certs. I'll check when I go to switch weapons again. But to get the other gun. However, this does a lot of damage to everything. See that Sunder over there? That was 2 shots at once.
Reloading. BS are down one side. Enemy sunder or destroyed.
Does a lot of damage to everything, especially infantry. One of these guns can do a lot of damage to infantry, 2 of them kills every infantry in 1 shot.
Watch your 6, infiltrator in the area.
I wish I could show you this hitting infantry directly, but unfortunately this is the VR training room and PlanetSide has not gotten around to that bug where missiles will fly right through infantry.
Enemy max spotted.
Actually, I was able to shoot this max here, and as you saw, it took away most of its damage. In most cases, you'll be with allies, so while you're reloading, they'll be taking it down.
Enemy
Though
max
in a lot of cases, a max will already have tons of damage on it, so it'll be easy to take out enemy maxes with this gun. This, however, is not something you want in closed spaces. The explosion radius can hurt you.
Hostile
So for the
max
most part,
identified.
this is the gun you want for more open areas. You want to be able to hit vehicles from a distance with this. If you're up close, they can probably retaliate, you'll do a lot of damage, but the reload times for this after each shot is going to make you very vulnerable, which is another reason why you want the shield.
User in your channel timed out.
You fire, and as you're reloading, you put up the shield. As you're putting up the shield, your guns will continue to reload, and you won't have to worry about dying because you were reloading at the time. You do, however, want to keep a lookout on your surroundings, because if there's an enemy coming up from behind you, the Aegis shield is only going to protect in front of you. Not your sides, not above, not below, not behind, only in front of you. Now, the last gun we're going to be talking about here before I get to attachments for the guns is going to be the Raven, dual Ravens. The Ravens are laser guided, meaning if you fire them, they will follow your crosshairs. As you can see, Bahlitz here is firing it, as are some of our other good Crack Miata members. And Bahlitz, what I want you to do is fire your dual Ravens towards that scythe, but I want you to try to hit the Sunday. Thank you very much, Bahlitz. Now, once again, these are laser guided, meaning they will follow your crosshairs. Meaning you can fire them, look up, and they'll go up. Look down, and they'll come back down. If you're trying to get something that's at the other side of a rock, these are the kind of guns you want. They do a lot of damage to vehicles. As you can see there with that Sunder, they can fire more times than the usual Falcons, which is very helpful. You can basically send a flood of these to go after an enemy vehicle. However, one thing is, if you're going to be trying to shoot something that's at the other side of the rocks, you kind of want somebody that can be there to tell you if you're hitting it, if you're hitting too high, if you're hitting too low, etc. But for the most part, if you're doing this on your own, you just need to look out for when your crosshairs give off that usual red circle. Like right there, the X or the circle, it tells you if you hit something. As you can see, I moved my shots up over the rock face there and into the side of the Mag Rider. It's very hard for vehicles to escape you like this, however, these things do not turn on a dime. So if you're trying to get something that's going around the corner, there's a very good chance that you'll miss. However, if both of these guns cost about 1,000 certs, so it's going to set you back 2,000 certs to get 2 of these. And they do a lot of damage to all things. Well, except main battle tanks like you're seeing right here. But that's the main benefit of these being rapid fire. Just think, if the TR had something like this, everyone would be screwed. And then again, the TR has something else, so you don't gotta worry about that. Everyone say hello to Hatagan, or
Hello.
Hitegan. This random blueberry is in our video. Say hello to everyone. Alrighty then. Now let's go on to attachments. For things like the Ravens and the Falcons, there are no attachments for them. They're just, all it is camo. You can set up your camo if you feel like it, but that'll set you back some station cash, which is probably better spent on other things like weapons. However, for things like grinders, the Mattock, the hacksaws, scattergun, etc., you have more options. For the rail, you want to get extended magazines. These will let you fire out more shots than usual. For ammo, you want to get slug ammunition. This is going to do a lot of damage. This is going to boost your damage a lot more than if you're just firing regular. Let me show you what I mean here.
Enemy Mac spotted.
Basically, you can shoot an enemy in the foot with these guns and kill them immediately.
User joined your channel.
In addition, if you're fighting at things like sites, it's not going to do much to them. But if you're using the slug ammunition, it is going to be noticeable. While before you will be doing almost no damage from a range, with these you will be doing damage. Some good damage at that. Capper, do me a favor. There's an enemy, I don't know, and there's an enemy something right here next to me. I want you to shoot him.
On Endor Galaxy Solo, we could request about one more squad coming in. Be wonderful.
Thank you very much. That just goes to show how it looks when someone's instantly owning an enemy. Now, it usually doesn't matter what armor the enemies have. This does a lot of damage, so it'll basically insta-kill them, no matter what they are, unless they're a max. If it's a max, you can expect an actual fight from there. If it's just some other infantry, it's going to be going down almost immediately. Even if it's a heavy assault using their shield, you will take down their shield in the first couple shots, and from there, they're pretty much dead. Now onto the NS-10 bursters. The only attachment for them is the extended magazine. This is also helpful. It'll set you back 500 certs for each one, so you can basically expect to spend somewhere near 2,500 certs for these, but it can be very worth it indeed. Hold fire, guys, hold fire. Now, I'm gonna show you this with the dual bursters with extended ammo. Well, with extended magazines.
That side.
You're basically a walking Apis turret. You'll take down a lot more things. Say there's an enemy air squad full of ESFs coming at you. You can deter them by yourself like this. In addition, you'll be able to do more damage over time towards things like Liberators and Galaxies. However, for Liberators and Galaxies, you do still want to have more allies with you. This will let you actually take them out rather than just fighting on your own and probably getting shot down by a tank burster.
Mag rider destroyed.
Command, we're having a hard
Now,
time over here.
let me go over
Galaxy Solar.
the suit slots for a moment
Still
here.
not enough people.
With nanite repair systems,
Yeah, we
for
still need
things
more
like
people.
the Raven Max
holding pretty
and the Dual Falcon Max, this is actually pretty useful for you. You can put this on, it'll repair you over time. If you take damage and you get to cover, then this is going to help you stay alive. However,
pull armor
taking
around the
damage, as
center,
it says
so
here,
definitely.
disables repairs for 8 seconds, so you want to make sure that the enemies don't know where you go if you use this. Otherwise, it's basically useless for you. You will be taken down pretty fast.
There's
However,
lightning right on us
flak
everywhere.
armor, this is one thing you really want if you're going to be an open field max. Anti-air, open field, whatever. Because this is going to reduce the amount of damage you take from explosions, which is going to be on pretty much every Liberator, every Battle Galaxy you see. They're going to be using Daltons. They're going to be using things like the Bulldogs and whatnot. This is going to help you survive from those. In addition to your shield. With your shield on, not only can you take enemy tank damage, you can also save yourself from the explosion radius. Say if an enemy misses the direct hit and it lands next to you, this will reduce the amount of damage you take from the explosion. Let me take a quick look over the maxers one last time. And one thing I want to say for implants, for the most part, the rangefinder is going to be pointless for your max unit. Even if you're using dual falcons, you don't really need to know how far your enemies are. It's more something for snipers. The battle hardened, it's not going to help you at all. I'm just gonna say that right here and now. If you're going into the fight, if you're staying at a distance, it doesn't matter. The battle hardened is not going to help you very much. Counterintelligence will tell you if you've been spotted.
Yeah, I'm pulling.
If you're in open field max, this might be helpful. It'll let you know if someone out of your view has spotted you. However, considering the other implants you can get, like Marker, EOD HUD, etc., the counterintelligence is not really one you want to go for. Now, awareness, this actually can be a good one for you if you're going to be a dual scattergun max going into the enemy lines and to fight the enemies.
You're breaking up.
A lot of enemies are going to be shooting you. You will end up dying
User left your
at
channel.
some point or another. That's just a cold hard fact of Planetside. You are going to die. But with the awareness, as the enemies damage you, as the enemies kill you, they will be getting spotted. You will not get points for them being spotted after they die. However, this does help your allies.
Reloading.
Now, this is it for the max training. I've covered all there is really to cover. I just want to thank all of Crack Miata that came over here for helping me with this training session. I want to thank you guys for being cooperative here and helping show the good people on YouTube how these maxes look when they're using their stuff. If any of you would like to say anything now, here's your chance.
Hi, Mom.
Cricket noises.
Cricket noises indeed, my good buddy. Cricket noises indeed.
I'm SpongeBob. I'm gonna fuck you in the ass.
And on that note,
Come here.
And on that note,
Come here.
we'll see you tomorrow for Talk Over Cereal and Tacos.
I prefer tacos. Not Chipotle though. I don't want.
Cereal.
Yeah, well, your cereal is
No,
going
cookies.
your cereal is going to be in the tacos. Now, in any case, that's it for
What?
the video. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're interested in joining Crack Miata, there will be some info in the description. But for the most part, you just gotta hop on Pintside. We are on the Connery server. Our leader is Kettle of Ketchup. He unfortunately was not around to join us here today. But we do training sessions like this every now and then. We have platoons going pretty much every day. If you'd like to join us, just keep an eye out. If you see one of the members here, odds are they are in a platoon. If they are not, oh well. Once again, I just want to thank you all for showing up to help me with my training session. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good night if you're going to bed soon. And just plan out. Have a good one.